Thank you, Ambassador. Next, we will hear from Basura Razaq-Shuaib from Southern Africa Embrace Foundation and University of Cambridge.
Thank you, Chair. I have listened to all that has been said here today about the exclusion of girls from education. But I want to specifically highlight the disproportionate exclusion that girls with disabilities face, and that doesn't get spoken of enough. And whilst we may have said that there is a need for an intersectional approach, what we're continuing to see increasingly is that when it comes to the practical terms, these girls continue to be left behind, and it's worse in low-income contexts. So I am saying that resource allocation and funding that goes into supporting the education of girls with disabilities is not neutral. It has political intent. And I am calling here today on Your Excellency policymakers that we should stop addressing disabilities as a homogeneous category. Stop looking at girls with disability or children with disabilities as a different category from girls who are in conflict, as a different category from girls who are poor or other girls who are marginalized, to understand that these girls can be from conflict zones and be poor and have a disability, and the presence of a disability in itself requires additional consideration to put into our education system, because in many occasions, the education system that we have now do not serve children with disabilities. So I ask very kindly and very firmly that in taking decisions, in practice, operationalizing all the things that we say here, that we start by including a disability focus in what we are doing. And for us as NGOs, CSWs that are here, that we hold our lawmakers, our policymakers accountable, because very often we will say these things, these sessions will finish, but when we go back to the field, it's still those girls, and it is still the same story we come back to every year. So we hold ourselves accountable that when we come back again, that we are seeing real progress, and that we stop categorizing disability like it's a separate problem that we can come back to when we've solved all other problems.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that important call to action. Thank you to our respondents, to your excellencies. Thank you to our hosts, speakers, and of course our panelists and the audience here today and on UN TV. There's been a lot of food for thought, and we will no doubt carry not just the challenges, but also the opportunities and the hope for closing the gender gap in education as we continue our advocacy at CSW and beyond. Thank you very much.